So what do we do with these things? Hey Kimberbell friends, Kristen Som here. Did you get all of your sections put together for our vintage boardwalk quilt? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love this quilt. This has been such a fun project. So now we have all of these weird things. So we're going to start working on putting our borders on. So we've got our inner borders and our outer borders. And you start by measuring your quilt. So measure from the center horizontally and vertically, and we will determine the size so that you know what size to make your borders. So mine measured, and keep in mind each one is different. If there's no right answer, just make sure that you get your dimensions so that you know what size for your borders. So mine measures 32.5 by 48.5. So I have cut all of these little strips. I haven't started measuring them yet. But what I decided is that since it's 48 inches, keep in mind that that half is for our seam allowance, so don't use that. So mine 48, so I am going to use a 1 by 12 quilting design, and I'm going to do it 4 times. So 12 times 4, 48. So mine works out really well. If yours is a different measurement, there's a 1 by 10, there's 1 by 7, I think. There's several different options, and based on whatever hoop size that you have. So I'm probably going to use my 7 by 12 hoop, and I'm going to double them. So I'm going to have 2 in my hoop. But it depends. I'm not absolutely sure that it'll fit in the 12 inch in that 7 by 12 hoop. So anyway, we'll get there with the pictures. But for now, measure your quilt, get all of your strips, and back them. I'm backing mine. Do what works for you. I'm backing mine with fusible stabilizer, and then we're also going to have batting in the strips. So the strips don't need to be the long strips. You can do them in the length because you're going to cut them anyway. So in our trimming, right, that's what, number 2, I think, we put down our batting and we trim it. So that's part of the guide that we're going to use with our quilting. So it doesn't matter. So make them like 12.5, 13, whatever. 1.5 by 13 would be probably good if you're using the 1 by 12 quilting design. So if you look on the kimberbell.com website in the background quilting, I think they have like 4 or 5 different border designs. And so the one that I'm going to use, it's the one with the insects. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called. I think Insect One Border is what it's called. So that's what I'm going to use for my borders. They have stars and hearts and Halloween. They have some cute ones, and I think there were like light bulbs for Christmas, something cutesy Christmas. The one that I thought went best with this boardwalk quilt is the insects. So I think that this part, the small 1-inch part, is dragonflies, and then the larger part for our outer borders had dragonflies and bees and stars and something else. It was cute. So I think it'll go well with boardwalk. That's what I'm going to use. I think that's all we have for now. So we're going to start on these first, and I am quilting them. You can do what works for you. But since we have batting and quilting on every part of our quilt so far, I'm going to keep it going with the inner borders and the outer borders. And we're getting really close. So after we get these borders on, we are going to have a completed quilt top. Pretty exciting. I hope you're as excited as I am. Let's get started.